Hey there, paper geeks and glitter nerds, it's Neenah the Crazy Geek Crafter. This year I have purchased a flower for these very cards. I love lilies, so I wanted to give some to my mother, my mother-in-law and my grandmother. Since I haven't really been able to see them since between here and last summer, respectively, I think it would be appreciated to get a flower that will not wilt. I am a bit weird about flowers. I don't like getting flowers. I don't like giving flowers. I love flowers. They should just stay outside, alive. I often come across a sentiment that says that friends are like flowers. Well, that would conclude that picking them is murder, right? But I digress. I am stamping out this lily from Nook Design 3 times with the jellyfish ink from Fawn, since I want to try out no line coloring with some very pale shades. This means that I'll be using 2 markers for the main color of this image, a color of some sort, and then the blender pen. And I'll be doing a lot of tip-to-tip coloring, since in Shin there are not the very, very, very light colors, the triple and quadruple zeros in Copics. They don't exist in Shin, so you have to make do with the color and then the blender pen. So that's exciting to try out. I have had to sped a lot of this footage up, since I'm doing 3 cards and I'm trying to keep it under half an hour for you to see. So I hope you can follow everything, even though I cut a lot of things out that's repetitive, and I sped up a lot of things that I have shown you once already. Like, I'm going to do this coloring in 4 times the speed, and then I'm going to speed it up for the next 2 colors, since it's the same process, but maybe you would like to see me color anyway. People are different this way. You can jump ahead if you like, but that's my plan. So I hope you enjoy this coloring. With the coloring done, I'm trying to pick out the perfect pattern papers from this pad. Especially, I felt like it went well with the Mother's Day theme. So there is not a lot of purple, so I picked this green background for it. It has more blue in it than the other green background, which I'm using for the blue flower, and I thought that it fit quite nicely. Now these cards took days, and I decided to do some die cutting while sitting on my couch. With these letters I'm going to write out Mother's Day, and I'm going to make 3 sets for each card, so it's going to take a while. I figured it was better to sit on my couch and watch some TV doing it. So I'm packing a little bit of supplies here, and I'll be back when all the letters are cut. I did have the thought to make this one of the fancy fold cards. I didn't find a fancy fold that I really liked for this project, so I'm just going to do some doors on my cards so that it is easy to display also. I picked some colored cardstock for the project, blue, purple and pink, if you can call that pink. I measured out what I needed width and height wise, and then I marked out one flap and scored it. Then I could fold in the rest to make it fit perfectly, and then score it to make the fold easier. And I'm just using the leftover to make a template for my other 2 colors. That might not have been the best idea. It is a few millimeters off from the blue panel that I folded actually, but I make do. I will be decorating the inside flaps with the same pattern paper, and that's why the few millimeters are troublesome, because I can't make the same cuts for all 6 panels that I'll be making, but it'll work out. The designer Karen Bernstein often makes fancy fold or pop-up things in her cards, and she always says to make a simple outside. That's not the side you're supposed to want to display, it's the inside that matters. So I'm just going to repeat stamp my lily here in some Versa mark. And I'm going to make a few mistakes on the blue one, moving the paper too far and not folding it and then stamping, instead having it open, so it's not continuous when I close the card. I'll see my mistake in a moment here when I close up the card, and I'll do it right for the other two. Now these two are a bit textured, so they're not gonna have the same clear impression as the blue one, but it's enough for a little bit of interest. And since the real show is the inside of the card, it doesn't matter that much. After gluing all the panels, I'm picking out a twine. I didn't find anything that was really useful when it came to color the string, so I just picked the brown twine. I find in many cases it's actually the best choice. Now I just have to stack all the letters to make my sentiment, and that's gonna go very fast with movie magic. There you go. All done. The die cut letters only spell out Mother's Day. The happy is a quite long word in Danish, so I opted for a peel off instead. So I would have been die cutting forever if I was trying to do this with the other letters. While the elements dry on the cards, I'm just going to use my sand eraser to get off any marks I've made on the white cardstock. It does happen, it is white, but I wanted it to stay bright white and crisp for the recipient. I'm not going to do much about bling and glitter for these cards. I think they're pretty as is. So I'm just going to tie them up and then I'm ready to send them out. Hopefully they'll arrive, and in time. That's always a gamble. I do hope that you enjoyed this week's video. I encourage you to show yourself by commenting on this video. Have you made a Mother's Day card this year? Will you be making one? Another way to show yourself is to like this video or subscribe, or both. You can also ring the bell if you're afraid to miss the next video. And until next time, I hope you'll be having a good day, evening, or night.